Hey, welcome back to Unseen Author Journeys. I'm Luigi Pascal Rondanini. If you listened to episode 1, you know we talked about the struggle to break in, the rejections, the self-doubt, the 1,000 reasons publishers say no. Today, we're going deeper. We're going to talk about why they say no. And here's the thing, once you understand the answer, everything changes. I almost quit writing 18 months ago. Not because I didn't have words, I had a breakthrough instead. I finally understood something that's going to sound obvious once I say it, but it honestly changed how I see the entire publishing world. I got an email from a publisher. They loved my manuscript, actually loved it. And then they asked one question that made it all click. What's your platform? How will you help us sell copies? And in that moment, I realized publishing isn't art. Publishing is math. It's risk management, and once you know the math, the game becomes winnable. Let me tell you something most authors don't understand. Publishers are terrified. Not of bad writing, they're terrified of losing money. Think about it. A publisher is about to invest, let's say, £5,000 to £7,000 in your book. That's not nothing. That's a real investment, real money, real risk. So when they sit in an acquisitions meeting and look at your manuscript, they're not asking, is this brilliant? They're asking, can we make our money back? And here's where it gets interesting, because the answer depends on 3 things, and only 3 things. 1. Is your writing actually good? Does it sing? Can readers feel something? 2. Does a market exist for this? Is this category growing, or is it completely saturated? And 3, and this is where most authors get stuck. Who are you? Do you have reach? Do you have people who will actually buy this book? Most people think it's all about number 1. It's not. It's all free. I've seen brilliant manuscripts rejected because the market category was flooded. I've seen good books rejected because the author had no platform. And I've seen mediocre writing picked up because the author had 50,000 engaged followers. It's not fair. It's just business. And here's the part that actually helps you. Once you understand this is business, you can stop taking it personally. Okay, let me break down the actual math, because this is where it gets real. A typical trade paperback, that's your standard fiction book, memoir, general non-fiction, costs a publisher roughly. Editing, £1,000 to £3,000. Cover design, £500 to £2,000. Interior design, typesetting, £300 to £800. ISBNs, 200 to 500. Printing, for a first run of 500 to 1,000 copies, another 1,000 to 3,000. Marketing, probably 500 to 2,000 more. So you're looking at somewhere between 4,000 and 7,000 pounds. Let's call it 5,000 to 6,000 for a typical book. Now here's the crucial part. When that book sells at £15, which is a standard paperback price, the publisher doesn't keep £15. Not even close. Retailers take a cut. Distribution takes a cut. Payment processing takes a cut. When all that's done, the publisher keeps roughly £3 per book sold. £3. So if you invested £6,000 and you make £3 per copy, you need to sell 2,000 copies just to break even, just to get your money back. No profit, just break even. And here's the kicker. 98% of books published sell fewer than 5,000 copies. 98%. So, statistically, most books don't even break even for their publishers. That's not pessimism, that's just data. And this is why publishers ask about your platform. It's not gatekeeping, it's not snobbery, it's survival. They're asking, is this author going to help us reach the 2,000 readers we need? If you have a newsletter with 500 engaged subscribers, that matters. If you have 10,000 Instagram followers who actually engage with your posts, that matters. If you've sold 500 copies of a self-published book, that matters. Because suddenly, the publisher can see a path. They can see how this book might actually reach 2,000 sales. Without that, they're just gambling. So publishers use a framework, not written down, not formal, but it's real. I've been in those meetings. I know how this works. They ask 3 questions. First, Does this market exist? They're looking for what we call comps, comparable titles. They want to know, has a similar book sold well recently? If yes, they know there's an audience. If you can say, this is like the Midnight Library meets Project Hail Mary, you're telling them, look, these two audiences already exist and they buy books. That matters enormously. Second, can I explain this book in one sentence? Publishers have about 60 seconds to decide if they want to keep reading. So your pitch has to be clear, visual, interesting. Not a woman dealing with life changes, but a widow discovers she can see 5 seconds into the future and has to decide whether knowing what's coming is a gift or a curse. See the difference? One is vague, one makes you lean in. Third, do people already care about this author? And this is where platform comes in. But here's what I want to be really clear about. They don't care about follower count. They care about engagement. 1,000 people who actually open your emails and read them, that's worth way more than 50,000 people who never click anything. They're looking for newsletters with open rates above 30%, social media engagement above 3 to 6%, people who actually show up to events, communities that are real. That's proof that humans care about what you do. But here's what's interesting, because the old model is breaking down. Traditional publishers have been trying to do this with just books, one format, one revenue stream, and the math is brutal. But there are publishers, including us at Rondanini, who are experimenting with something different, multimedia publishing. What if you didn't just publish a book? What if you published a book and a podcast exploring the themes? What if you commissioned original music that readers could hear and fall in love with? What if you built a community around it? Suddenly, the financial equation is completely different. Because you're not betting everything on book sales. You've got podcast listeners, you've got music streams, you've got community members, maybe you've got sponsorships, maybe you've got memberships. Each of those channels reinforces the others. Someone hears a song, downloads it on Spotify, and that makes them curious about the book. Someone listens to a podcast, joins the community, and suddenly they're invested. The break-even point doesn't disappear, but it's not just about copies sold anymore. And crucially, this opens the door to experimental work, short books, cross-genre fiction, stories that traditional publishers would never touch because it doesn't fit the category. But if you're spreading risk across multiple formats, suddenly you can take those chances. That's what the future of publishing looks like. And it's not about abandoning books. It's about understanding that books are one part of a larger ecosystem. So, if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, Luigi, this is interesting, but what do I actually do? Here's what you do. First, understand your own numbers. What would it actually cost to publish your book? What's your break-even point? Is it realistic? And we've actually created a tool for this. It's completely free. It's called the Publisher's Break-Even and Pitch Checklist, and it walks you through everything we've talked about today. You'll find a link to it at the essay page on our site. If you head to essay.rondanini.com, you can read the full written version of this podcast episode. And right there, you'll see the link to download the interactive checklist, or grab the PDF version if you prefer to work offline or print it out. The checklist has a calculator to figure out your actual break-even point, the framework publishers use to evaluate manuscripts, an audit to assess your current platform, a worksheet to put together your pitch. It's thorough, and it's genuinely useful, whether you're pitching to traditional publishers or planning to go indie. Second, start building your platform before you need it. Don't wait until you're ready to query. Start now. Grow a newsletter, build a community, create consistent work in your space, show up. Because when you do have a manuscript ready, you'll be in a position of strength. Third, understand that this isn't personal. Publishers aren't rejecting you. They're doing math. They're asking, does this business equation work? And once you understand its business, you can actually do something about it. You can build your platform. You can find the right publisher for your specific book, or you can decide to publish it yourself through multimedia channels. But you're playing from a position of knowledge, not desperation. So here's what I want you to do this week. 1. If you haven't already, listen to episode 1 of this podcast. It sets the context for where we are in publishing right now. 2. Head to essay.rondanini.com and read the full written version of this episode. It goes deeper into the numbers and the framework. There are links to the interactive checklist right there. 3. Download the checklist. Spend some time with it. Fill it out honestly. Figure out where you actually stand. Where are you strong? Where do you need to build? And 4. Start thinking like a publisher. Not in a mercenary way, but in a strategic way. Think about your audience. Think about your platform. Think about how you'd convince someone to invest in your book. Because that's the mindset that wins. If you have thoughts on this episode, or if you've used the checklist and want to share how it helped you, let me know. Comment on the essay, or get in touch through the website at rondanini.com. And if you're interested in multimedia publishing, fiction paired with podcasts, original music, interactive elements, that's what we do at Rondanini Publishing. We're building a different kind of publishing company. Reach out if you want to talk about it. Here's what I want you to remember as you leave this episode. Publishing is a math problem wrapped in story. It's not mysterious. It's not magic. It's not gatekeeping. It's business. And once you understand the business side, you get to play the game strategically instead of just hoping something works. The door isn't locked. You just need to know where the hinges are. And now you do. Keep writing, keep building, keep thinking strategically. I'm Luigi Pascal Rondanini. Thanks for listening to Unseen Author Journeys. Next episode, we're talking about building visibility without burning out. How to actually grow a platform that doesn't exhaust you. Because audience shouldn't mean exhaustion. See you then.